If you have ever dreamed about owning a few acres of land in North Carolina, maybe near Burgaw, Supply, or somewhere between the pines and the marsh, you are not alone. More and more people are calling me, telling me they want land. More and more people are moving here, trading crowded neighborhoods for open skies, fresh air, and that deep sense of quiet that you can only find in the country. On paper, it sounds perfect. Buy a few acres, build your dream home, plant a garden, maybe raise some chickens. But once you start looking, you realize that buying land is not quite as simple as it sounds. It's not just about the price per acre, it's about access, zoning, soil, utilities, and a lifestyle that comes with it. So today we are slowing things down to talk about the real pros and cons of buying land in coastal North Carolina. All right, let's start with the dream side of it all, the feeling of freedom. When you stand on an empty piece of land and it's quiet except for the wind coming through the pines, it's hard not to feel something. It's freedom, it's possibility, it's the thought that you can finally shape something that's yours from the ground up. For so many people moving to coastal North Carolina, that's the draw. You want space, you want privacy, you want to reconnect with nature. You want to have bonfires under the stars and wake up to hearing crickets instead of all the traffic. Here's the good news. You can still find that here. Drive just 20 or 30 minutes inland from Wilmington and you'll start seeing for sale signs on parcels that would cost 10 times more anywhere else. Places like Burgaw, Rocky Point, Bolivia, they're all beautiful. They are all offering value and possibility. That's one of the biggest pros of buying land here. It's affordable and there's a lot of potential. Let's have a reality check and talk about what's missing. Of course, with potential comes work. Once you buy land, everything that's not there becomes your job to create. There's no water line waiting for you, there's no sewer connection, no driveway. Sometimes there's no road access at all. That's where people get caught off guard. Because before you build, you need to think about soil tests, permits, easements, and flood zones. Coastal North Carolina is full of wetlands and low-lying terrain. It's gorgeous, but it can be tricky. So before you fall in love, always check flood maps and soil reports. A soggy backyard might sound charming until it's under your foundation. Definitely something to think about. If you need help pulling flood maps or soil reports for a property, please contact me. I'll be more than happy to help you however I can. We can look at specific properties, look at flood maps, and kind of help you run all the numbers. Now let's talk about something that's easy to miss, access. Not every parcel here has legal access to a public road. Some properties are what we call landlocked. That means you might have to cross someone else's land just to get to yours, and that requires a legal easement. Without one, you could literally own a piece of paradise that you can't reach. That's not a good situation. That's why it's critical to work with a local agent like myself who knows rural property. I've seen buyers fall in love online with a place only to drive out to see it and hit a locked gate that they don't have the key to. Let's shift back to the fun side, because when you own land, there's something incredibly liberating about it. There's no HOA, there's no one telling you what color to paint your shutters. You can build a barn, park your RV, grow your garden, start a small business, depending on the zoning, but there's just so much freedom. It's really simple, it's grounding, and it's a breath of fresh air for people who have lived in busy subdivisions or cities. Clients from Raleigh or Charlotte tell me all the time, hey, I just want to keep chickens again. I want to grow up, I want to live the way it used to be whenever I was growing up and I went to my grandma's or whatever it was. There's a way of living in the country that you just can't find anywhere else. And I get that 100%. The feeling of living closer to the land never really gets old. It makes you feel like you are one with nature once again. If all of this sounds appealing, maybe you're looking at Wilmington for the first time, you want to get to know our area, please check out my website, livinginwilmingtonnc.com. We have a map on there that shows all the different areas, including the outlying areas from Wilmington, with a lot of land, a lot of different property, price points, all that good stuff. You can find it out there. And contact me. I'd be more than happy to help you however I can. Another big pro to owning land is investment potential. They're not making more land, and as areas like Pender and Brunswick counties grow, rural parcels near new roads and schools continue to rise in value. Even if you don't build land right away, buying now and holding on can be a smart long-term move. But here's the key. Buy land because you love it first. It's not a quick flip. This is a vision project, and most likely it's going to be a long hold. This is something that unfolds over time, and if you enjoy the process, it can be incredibly rewarding. I've looked at land myself and I thought, it would be fun to maybe get some dirt bikes, ride them out here. I have friends that like to hunt, they might be able to use it for that. Maybe go fishing on it, whatever it is. But you have to think about the rules, the regulations that are already in place. You have to think about potential trespassing. If you're gonna have any type of insurance, are you gonna have a barn on the property? Do you have to keep that locked up? Look at the surrounding areas. You have to look at flood zones. You have to think about water, any potential rainwater that might sit there. So it's not as easy as just buying the land. You have to really think it out, look at elevations, all that good stuff. And it's something I'm more than happy to help you do, and we can do it, work together and try to find you a place that works for you. Just contact me below and I'll be more than happy to help you do that. All right, let's get real about the cons. And the biggest one is the cost after closing. You might be thinking, I bought the land, I'm done spending money. But land ownership is just the beginning. You might need to bush hog it a few times a year. Maybe you add a culvert for the driveway. You might have to run power from the nearest pole, and that's not gonna be cheap. Then come the big ticket items. Wells, septic systems, site preparation. Those can add $20,000, $30,000, or even more before you start building. All things you have to think about before you buy the land. Now let's talk about restrictions and regulations. Even out here, land isn't always do whatever you want. Some parcels have deed restrictions. Some have rules that are set years ago that limit what you can build or how you can use it. And along the coast, environmental regulations protect wetlands and drainage. That's good for the ecosystem, but it can affect where and how you build. Before you buy, check with the county planning department. Ask about zoning, flood zones, and permitted uses. If all of this sounds overwhelming, don't worry. Reach out below. I'll connect you directly with county resources and trusted local surveyors who can help verify everything before you buy. Now take a deep breath. Because despite the challenges, owning land here is one of the most rewarding experiences you can have. When you step outside at night and see stars instead of street lights, that peace is absolutely priceless. One of my clients from New Jersey moved to a 7-acre tract near Watha. She called me the first week and said, Kevin, I can't believe how many frogs I hear at night. I forgot what nature actually sounds like. And that's what I mean. Land changes your rhythm. It slows you down and you start noticing things again that maybe you had forgotten about years ago. That, my friends, is the real payoff of owning land in North Carolina. If this sounds like the kind of lifestyle you're dreaming of, reach out below. I'd be more than happy to help you find the right piece of land to make it a real possibility. All right, let's recap. The pros of owning land here are freedom, privacy, space to breathe, and to build something that is truly yours. The cons, on the other hand, are responsibility, maintenance, and the patience that it can take to bring a vision to life. Buying land in North Carolina isn't just about property, it's about possibility. It's for people who want to build, create, and feel grounded again. So if that's you, you're not crazy for dreaming it, you're just hearing the same call that brought so many of us here. The call to slow down, to simplify, and to trade convenience for connection. For more insight on living along the coast, subscribe to my channel, Living in Wilmington, NC. Don't forget to download my Wilmington relocation guide at the link below. It's perfect for a starting point for exploring where land and lifestyle meet. Don't forget, love where you live. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.